Hey guys! So I wanted to make a video for today since it's been a while since we did one, and also I want to show you my new room. Check out those elephants. I'm really excited about it. Anyways, so today I'm going to talk about veganism and anorexia, and kind of just a little bit about how certain lifestyle choices, certain choices in the way that you eat can affect your eating disorder. And I know that a lot of you have been wondering, some already vegans and vegetarians and some hoping to make the transition into veganism and vegetarianism, if doing so would trigger some of your restrictive habits, if it would be a healthy choice. Some of you who are already vegan are curious as to how it might be affecting your eating disorder, or whether some of it stems from restrictive behaviors. So I'm going to talk about my take on that today, and also tell you how I feel about veganism in general, what my stance is on it, and what kind of eating habits I use. So let's get right into it. Okay, so first of all, let me just say, I think that all you vegans out there rock. I'm not someone who buys into the whole, oh, vegans are so annoying and they're constantly asking what's in their food, and, well, shouldn't we all be asking what's in our food? I don't know, maybe I'm biased because I have celiac disease, which means that I cannot touch gluten. My food can't touch gluten. It can't be cooked in the same toaster as gluten. Toasted in the same toaster. But anyways, so I think all of those memes are just kind of BS, and people who give vegans a hard time, I don't know. I agree that there are some vegans that are very hardcore and try and shove their veganism on others, which isn't cool. I mean, shoving anything on others isn't cool. But my stance on vegans is, y'all are awesome. I know that veganism is really great for our planet, and that raising animals for food and dairy has a big effect on greenhouse gases and all of that. So, yeah, I think that veganism is great, and if you made that choice, then you are certainly helping the planet, you are certainly helping the animals, and yeah, I don't see anything wrong with it. I think it's an admirable choice to make. And then a little bit into why, as most of you who follow me on Instagram know, how much I love chicken, and I love turkey, and I clearly do not eat vegan. At this point in my life, as someone who had anorexia and orthorexia, and someone who also tried to be vegetarian for a little bit during the height of my anorexia and orthorexia, I need to be honest with myself about my mental health, in addition to, the welfare of our planet and our animals and all of that. And I get the argument for it. Trust me, I do. I think it's great to be vegan. But as someone who's recovered from an eating disorder, placing any foods as off limits or eliminating anything from my diet is really not a healthy thing for me. And I've already had to do it with gluten, not by choice, but for my health and my body, as, mandated by a doctor. And that was really rough. I haven't talked a lot about my transition into celiacs, and if you guys want to see that in another video, go ahead and leave a comment on the blog post here and let me know. But, yeah, that was a really hard time in my life that I had to start eliminating things again after I had just kind of entered recovery, where things aren't supposed to be off limits, and food freedom. So I've already done that, and I think that if I were to start eliminating meat, start to eliminate dairy, it would feel very restrictive to me. And that brings me into my next point. It's all about your motivation. So if you are someone that is interested in adopting a vegan diet or a vegetarian diet, I think that if you want to do so separate from your eating disorder, regardless of whether you're trying to recover, you've been recovered, you maybe are still inpatient, and I don't really know much about that, if they even let you choose veganism or vegetarianism when you're inpatient. But I think that if it's something you're interested in, the first thing you need to do is be super brutally honest with yourself about your intentions. Because I personally know that when I wanted to go vegetarian for a little bit, I was not honest with my intentions. I told other people that I wanted to be healthier and have more energy and do something nice for the planet and the animals, but inside, it gave me secret joy that I had less calories on my plate because I wasn't having fried chicken, or because I just wasn't having cheese, because, animal products are higher in calories. It's, for the most part, unless, we're talking about bread and all those things, to have a salad without meat and cheese is going to be a lot lower calories. So for me, being vegan meant being vegetarian. It was just another reason to restrict. Now, do I think that's everybody? No, not at all. Most people who have not suffered with disordered eating, their intentions, I'm sure, are pure, and that's great. But some of you watching this video, and if you read my blog, then I'm assuming you're here because you either have struggled with body image or you've struggled with an eating disorder. And if you're looking to make that transition into a diet that essentially eliminates a lot of things, I think it's important that you are honest with yourself about why you're doing it. Sit down, make a list, go through it mentally, whatever you need to do so that you can tell yourself at the end of the day, I'm not doing this to restrict. I'm not doing this because of calories in, calories out. I'm doing this as a life choice and as an emotional and philosophical value that I want to add. And B, if you're someone who is in touch with doctors and nutritionists, definitely speak to them about it. Find out if it is at all doable for you, because I don't know, when I was trying to be a vegetarian, I was underweight, and I'd imagine that if I had asked any doctors, they would have, not said that was a great idea to start there. I know that you can get all your protein, you can get all your calories you need from vegan and vegetarian diet, so I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that to start it, you want to make sure you're getting what you need and that you're doing it for the right reasons. Aside from that, I think that it's sad that veganism and vegetarian has gotten this rap that has kind of been placed in this niche of anorexic behaviors, but I also think that there's some merit to it, that it happens, and that if you're someone who's a vegan or a vegetarian and any of this sounds familiar to you, like, looking at your plate and feeling proud of what's not on it for calorie reasons rather than, saving the planet and animal reasons and that kind of stuff, then maybe take a look at what you're feeling inside, and if maybe being a vegan or a vegetarian is not the best option for you right now, because you get to be selfish when it's about your health and about your mental health. And I know there are people that, here's where it's going to get a little controversial, who aren't going to agree with me, because being vegan and vegetarian is better for the planet and better for mankind, better for animal kind, clearly, but I, as a person, am choosing to prioritize my mental health. I'm choosing to prioritize what feels good to me and what feels normal to me. So, I know not everyone will agree with that, but again, it's a personal choice. And if you're someone who wants to become be a vegan, can you tell that I don't want to spend a lot of time on camera, or be a vegetarian, I think that it's admirable, but I think that you really need to sit down with yourself and realize that it's going to be a big change. It's going to be a lot different. You're going to have people that are questioning you, and when they question you, are you going to know how to answer? Like, can you confidently say that you're doing this because you want to be a better person, have more energy, invest in our planet, whatever, and not think in the back of your head, well, I might lose some weight from doing this. I might look better from doing this. One of my pet peeves, also probably going to piss some people off here, is in some of her videos, Freely the Banana Girl, I think that's her channel. I've watched some of them, and they really bother me. I don't really like any YouTuber who attacks other YouTubers for a profession. But in some of her videos, she, shows off her body and says, this is what you're going to be if you're vegan, and, look how great I look, and that's going to be you. And I think that's kind of an issue, right? It's clearly not only her that does it. People in the fitness industry do it all the time. They stand in front of their mirrors on Instagram and flex their abs and say, buy this protein powder and you'll look like me. But, that bothers me, saying that a vegan diet equals skinny or equals toned, because I don't think that's necessarily true, nor do I think it's why anyone should eat anything. But yeah, at the end of the day, you should do what makes you feel good, and if people judge you for it, they judge you for it. I've gotten a lot of judgment since becoming celiac, or not becoming, since being diagnosed as. But no one knows you. No one knows what's going on in your head and your heart. So do what feels right, and keep this conversation we've had, or I've had with you, I guess, in the back of your head if you're thinking about making the transition. And I hope that if you do so with a full heart and with great intentions, and that it's healthy for you. And just so you know, also, one last thing I want to add, any diet you start, any lifestyle change you start, you can stop if it doesn't feel good. Telling yourself you're going to be vegan or vegetarian, if it doesn't make you feel good, or if you're having issues, you can stop. Just like you can stop eating meat or stop eating dairy. So that's really just what I wanted to say tonight. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll let me know in the comments if you want to see more and what you want to see. Thanks, guys.